Today we're going to be talking about the glutes. The glutes consist of the glute maximus, the glute medius, and the glute minimus. Glutes act on the hip joints, producing extension, medial rotation, lateral rotation, and abduction. They originate from the posterior surface of the ilium, sacrum, and the coccyx. The fibers slope at a 45-degree angle across the buttocks and insert into the iliotibial tract and the gluteus tuberosity of the femur. I'm going to be talking about and demonstrating 2 sagittal plane and 2 frontal plane exercises, as well as 2 stretch for the glutes. The first exercise we're going to be talking about is the hip thrust. The hip thrust targets the glute maximus in the sagittal plane, like so. For this exercise, you typically sit on the floor with your upper back against a bench or on a machine like this. Your feet will be flat on the ground, and the movement involves lifting the hips towards the ceiling, engaging the glute muscles, like so. Next exercise on the list is the deadlift. The deadlift is a compound exercise which primarily targets the posterior chain. For this exercise, you start with the barbell on the ground. The movement involves lifting the barbell by extending the hips and knees. The erector spinae plays a crucial role in maintaining an upright posture throughout the lift. Form is very important for this workout, so remember to keep your upright posture and do the movement slowly to not pull or hurt anything. Moving on to the frontal plane exercises. The first exercise we're going to talk about is the side lying leg lifts. This workout primarily targets the tender fasciae latae and the glute medius. Here's a demonstration of how to do it. The exercise involves lying on your side and lifting the upper leg away from the lower leg, focusing on working the hip abductor muscles. Moving on to the lateral banded walks. This exercise targets the glute medius and the glute minimus. This workout is important for activating and strengthening the hip abductors and also improving stability. Here's an example of how to do it. This exercise involves placing a resistance band around the legs, typically just above the knee, and taking lateral steps while maintaining tension on the band. Now we can move on to the stretches. The first one we're going to cover is the pigeon pose. This one focuses on the hip external rotators. This workout helps improve flexibility in the hip external rotators. It also improves mobility in the hip extenders and alleviates tension in the buttocks. An example of how to do it. In the pigeon pose, one leg is positioned forward with the knee bent and the foot flexed, while the other leg is extended straight behind. The weight is often shifted onto the forward leg, creating a stretch in the hip of the extended leg. The next exercise we're going to talk about is the seated 4-figure stretch. This stretch targets the hip external rotators, particularly the piriformis. In this stretch, while seated, one ankle is placed on top of the opposite knee, creating figure 4 shape with the leg. Gently, pressure is applied to the elevated knee, encouraging a strength in the hip of the crossed leg.